Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness rage across New York, wherein there's a 10 point. She's there. She's at home, probably at the cabin. And probably hanging out wherever Aiden has left his various maps and notes and pamphlets and all that paper stuff he keeps poring over. And seeing as she has touch with him through the pack link and knows he's on his way back, there will probably even be tea, because she is the good girl. And why would there not be tea?
Aiden, after his celebration of standing in the Umbra going glorious, when he heard the howl of his alpha turning him into one, will arrive in, probably literally step across quite quickly and, walk in, smoking a cigarette as he's walking in.
And 10 point doesn't usually bother anymore unless there's a particular mood going or she has fucked up. But when he does come in, as she's re-emerging from the kitchen, she will actually go so far as to do the whole thing. And takes the knee, tilts back the head, bearing throat and chest and whatnot.
He will raise an eyebrow at her. Probably do that expression I have in the picture, actually. Like, huh?
And she'll smirk and go ahead and quickly enough rouse back up.
Save that for public, then, boy. You don't have to be in my entourage when we're in private. He'll plonk himself down.
She'll nonetheless seem a little pleased with herself, if only for teasing him, and will come quickly enough to join him, setting a mug in front of him on a coaster, so it doesn't mess up his maps.
Coaster, yay!
I use coaster.
Yeah, he'll put on some music in the background and then be looking at the maps as the coaster sits down in front of him. He'll look up. Oh, thank you.
There's an idle nod, and yeah, she'll have a mug of her own in hand. Plunk down next to him.
Thank you. Give her a big smile.
Of course, Ryan.
Right. Been looking over these maps, and after that little fucking incident, it's kind of led me to make a decision.
There's just kind of expectant blink.
We're going to need to get you a form of identification, 10 point.
The lips kind of firm into a line because, let's face it, she imagines this is far more difficult than it needs to be.
I mean, realistically, I can get you documents. I don't know, I can talk to my guy. I can even have Felix help it out. We just got to come up with a name.
I have a name.
I mean, you've been using Iris outside.
She nods.
Do you want to go with that?
Yeah.
So what about your second name?
Her head tilts faintly.
Every Hamid has a surname. Like Aiden Lynch Krause. Dallas Yekar.
She proceeds to just kind of look at her tea and shrug.
Well, I was considering, seeing as you've been saying you've been my sister, I was thinking of having you be officially registered as Iris Lynch.
And there's a very sudden, sharp glance up. Kind of searching.
You're kind of just staring at her blankly. See, I'm not going to make you roll because fuck it. From what you can tell, you've known Aiden long enough. He's kind of assessing how she's reacting first before he shows any of his own emotions.
There's definitely like emotion-wise, there's that kind of hitch of excitement. Albeit she is physically downplaying it as much as she can, and definitely turning. Essentially not to see necessarily what his reaction is, so much as to see if it's okay for her to have one. As though she's worried about expressing how happy that makes her. Are you sure, Raya?
Smirk a bit. I mean, makes sense, right? That way, if we don't have an incident like that.
It makes sense to have a name, Raya. And I know we talked about it. I just
It's
didn't
not.
think you would actually want to put your name on me.
Why not your family? Besides, it's only a Hobbit name, you know. It's not like the fucking nation is gonna know you as Iris Lynch. It's just gonna be that you're still 10 Point. And if you're worried about everyone talking, we can keep it quiet and do it on the sly.
And particularly with the distinction between the two, she'll nervously start kind of chewing on her lower lip and nod. As long as it doesn't do anything bad to you. Right.
Do you think it will?
I don't know.
I mean,
Not
it's
home.
not. I mean, do you think it's really going to matter if we have a social security check? Do you think Murder Hobo is going to get onto me for making sure that if pressed, you're my sister and we have documentation?
There's a tiny head shake.
Besides, I doubt the pack will have an issue. I mean, and this way, you're safe, and therefore the Veil is safe.
And there's the tiny nod. And while not in a dramatic way, she'll not even need to necessarily inch closer, but just kind of shifts her weight a bit so that she's not leaning on him quite, but definitely kind of more so against his side.
All right, if you want to find a different name, that's fine. But
Starts quickly shaking her head.
all right, you smile gently. All right. Well, I'm gonna have a talk with all of us. I'm gonna sort out what needs what. I'm gonna have a talk with the kinfolk. Maybe even have a word with Felix too. We'll get that sorted.
And yeah, she finally lets go. Like, you can imagine she's been kind of clenching on the emotional response, kind of pulling it down as best she could. But she kind of finally lets go of it. And he'll feel that kind of just warm, happy glow. Just very similar to any time he shows acceptance or the like of that. Thank you, Raya.
Should nod. It just means in public, you refer to me as Aiden, not as Raya, okay?
There's another, sheepish nod. I try to remember. Have I messed it up?
No, you've come close, but you've kept your composure. Just remember, just chat to me like you normally would. Aiden, and that's all you say, it's just Aiden. Okay?
Another, again, equally, just very small nod of acceptance. Of course.
The key to wandering around and make it not. The problem is, if you act all like you're terrified of something, you're going to draw attention to yourself. If you're out there, you just have to act like you've got nothing to be doing, just what a normal girl walking.
I've walked the streets a couple times, Raya. It wasn't so hard.
Most people are too busy worrying about their own routine and themselves anyway.
They don't even look.
Exactly. You just give a nod. Now, I'm going to have a talk with everybody as well about our money and how we can get a new place. See what we can come up with.
I have been trying to stretch out as well. I can't work, but there are many kin who regard us very fondly. I'm sure they'll help as much as they can.
Maybe you can have a word with Chad's mom. Maybe if you want to make your jewellery, have her use as a forefront. And even recruit kin to be staff. You make the jewellery, supply them with the jewellery. Boom. That's money.
It was part of the thought, Rhea.
Do nod. Talk to your kin then. See what they see. I'm sure she'd be delighted to help you.
She is. She's very nice, Rhea, and she seems to enjoy it when we're there. Any excuse for us to visit.
Well, that's all you need to do then. Nod. Gave Raphael his fostering challenge today.
Turn an inquisitive look his way.
I sent him out there. Learn. Do you know? He smiled a bit. I just hope he understands.
For you and yours, isn't understanding half the point, Rhea?
There's a difference between understanding and then truly grasping what it means to be a Ragabash. Even took me a long time to understand a few things.
If you say so, Rhea.
Well, think about it. He'll smile, looking over at her. Our auspice is an auspice of many different points of view. So how can you attribute that to one lesson when our auspice is about many lessons?
Your auspice is about lessons as a whole, Rhea.
Mm-hmm. And if he can answer me a few questions like, does he understand what his auspice duty in terms of it? Does he understand the duty of it in terms of the challenge? Does he understand its place within this nation? Does he have a grasp on what it truly means to be a Ragabash? If he can answer me that from what he saw and what he learned, then he's ready to be a fostering. Because I can be a Fianna all year round. I can be the Fianna for days. He can be a Shadow Lord for days. That's not what a fostering challenge is about. It's about you as a Ragabash, a Theurge, and a Rune that got the art of Philodox. It's about that moon you're born under.
She nods faintly.
So I just hope I don't get the fucker killed.
I hope not, Rhea. He's strange, but he's not bad.
Oh no, God no. He's a Shadow Lord. You just keep them always at a distance from you. Do you know what I mean? From my experience with Shadow Lords, there are your two ways. One, they're terrifying, like that fellow we saw in Chicago. A second, where they're wise and in a very strange way, like Garrett and Raphael. Both two very different levels of wise and their application of it. Just nod, taking a sip of the tea.
I admit, until now, I've had very little chance to interact with Shadow Lords, Rhea.
My dead mother said I should have been one.
And the eyebrow just kind of quirks up.
I'm devious, apparently.
You're a Ragabash.
Even some people have commented on how Shadow Lord I can be, but hey, I'm just... You smile. Wink over at her. Most people don't really truly understand Fianna's role as a Ragabash.
You do well, Rhea.
Oh, I know. You smile. So, you look over at her. Saoirse,
The sharp little blink. What about her,
I just
Raya?
want to know your opinion.
And she finally kind of like lets out a breath and leans back against the back of the couch, holding the mug fairly close. In what regards, Raya?
Her as a pack mate. What do you think? I just want your opinion at that point.
She would be an asset, Raya. Can say that much easily. She's already aided us many times. She provides a certain amount of insight. She uses her tales and her experience to help us through rough times. It's something we could use.
All right. You said the positive. What's the negative?
Her fingers tap lightly at the outside of the mug. There's the risk that she might expect more than she gets, being an Adrian. She may expect a higher position in the pack, which I would not be eager to give. You as Alpha serves the pack well. Banshee as Beta serves the pack well. I would not see either of you displaced.
Mm-hmm.
So ambition could be a problem.
I mean, if she wants ambition, there are plenty other packs there for her. And besides, if she tries to come at me that way, who built her up?
For sure.
We always have a plan, 10 point. A contingency. We always have leverage. You see?
Another faint nod.
Because ambition is dangerous. Now, controlled ambition can be quite useful to everyone, but wild ambition, you shake his head, you can't predict it.
She doesn't seem to be especially impulsive or unpredictable, Raya. And perhaps she would be a steadying influence on Dallas.
He'll quirk a brow. She challenged Shinlo the moment he found out that he was declared master of hell by the Alpha herself. The second. She has impulsive streaks.
Perhaps, Raya.
She just needs reminding of where she comes from, who she belongs to. You know?
I think it was an act of passion, Raya.
And that's still no excuse.
And her head kind of slowly lowers. Of course not.
Passion, as I said, is our greatest weakness, but our greatest strength. We must learn to apply it carefully. Now, she got Tailsinger. Great. But what do the people say about her? Because they do say it. I'm sure you've heard it.
Cast him a side glance, kind of expectantly.
Well, they say that she doesn't respect the Alpha for, first of all, challenging against her decision. Secondly, what has she really done as Tailsinger?
This is true, Raya. But were she to join us, have people reminding her, pushing her up, poking her in the right direction, she could gain a lot of influence.
Like I said, and who's building her up? You see what I'm talking about? He spread his hand, two hands across from each other. Leverage and fact.
Of course.
Because one of the older ragabasses used to say this. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove when it comes to some people in the nation.
In the end, whatever baggage she comes with, she's a
That will
greater
be
benefit
that
than
will be
she
reminded.
is.
The baggage will be handled, and she'll be told firmly. Firmly. We keep those outside the nation, and this pack. She knows exactly what she's getting into, joining this pack.
I think so long as there's a sit-down, Raya, before she is brought into us, to make sure that she understands what we expect, there will be no issue.
No, not. No, she's not Dallas. He seems to be writing something on a piece of paper. You can tell he's like looking at housing prices. You see the name like do $15. You know, scratch. You know what I mean?
Sorry, what do you write?
Like 250. This, you know what I mean? Sums basically. He's trying to calculate. Like it's this much, and if we work at this much, you know what I mean? He's doing that type of shit.
Mm-hmm. She's idly watching, trying to kind of figure out how all this works. It's still blatantly beyond her, but
He'll look over at her. Do you want to know something?
of course, Raya.
She said to me, in regards to her little meat, we'll call it, puts it brackets, fingers, that she's not the Ardrai.
Who, Raya?
The Ardrai.
No, who said this, Raya?
Dallas.
Why would she say that?
Her little mate, Karina. You do know what she is, don't you?
Yes, Raya.
And she said, I'm not the Ardrai, Aiden. As if she would compare herself, A, to my king, and B, to insinuate that my king would be true of those foul rumors spread about him, which are all lies. We both know that.
It was a tiny, tiny nod.
But she said that about my king.
All the better than to have Saoirse, Raya. Maybe she'll listen to her.
What does that say when she won't listen to an alpha?
You were not alpha before, Raya.
But what does it say when she's in an all-Fianna pack and insults the king of our people? By thinking she is better than him. By even suggesting that he has the same weakness as her. He is the Ardrai. He's the best of us.
It says that she needs correcting, Raya.
He'll nod, and I think that should be done as a pack together.
It's thoughtfully and kind of slowly this time that she nods, eyes dropping back to the map. Just, for lack of anywhere else to put them.
Because I'm a Fianna, you're a Fianna, Banshee's a Fianna. I think even Balin, if he came back, would have issue with this.
You would.
So I'm thinking as a pack, she is corrected and reminded of where she belongs and what she chose before she makes comments like that.
A lesson then, Raya.
Precisely. Now I was wanting to talk to you and Banshee, but I want that lesson from all three of us. Fianna.
Yes, of course, Raya.
Good. Because talk like that is dangerous.
It is.
And then now I had a plan if Banshee and I disputed this and she left for back home. I was going to make her my beta. But if she talks to me like that, how can I trust her? How can she accept Dana's good grace if that's what she says?
No. She doesn't suit for beta, Raya.
And nod, slowly. And give a smirk. I know. But don't worry. Did I give her a hair ruffle? I have the 2 best betas I need.
She kind of blinks, but, she's getting hair ruffled. She can't respond but so negatively. She leeches up the attention.
So you had something to tell me?
About the day after Samhain, Raya.
You're not.
I had dreams. It was all the huntsman. And he heard the prayers that I had offered up. Told me to join him on his hunt. And I saw more of them, Raya. The Fae. While we were hunting. They looked strange. As if that was 2 of them laying one atop the other when I looked at them. And one of them, she kind of gestures to the kitchen where the champagne bottle is probably still sitting somewhere. That contest that Dallas took me to. The one who held it. He was one of them.
She took you there.
Not just her, Raya. It was, mostly Felix. And, it was Felix, Dallas, Colin, me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a group of us.
And it does know any of the people there.
She shrinks a little bit. She did seem to recognize some. I remembered at least one from the bar.
Name?
Misha, I think?
Yeah. One of Karina's friends.
And while we were there, we were having the contest. I didn't know. And when I wanted to stop, it was all in good fun, and I thought I would bow out. And Dallas said you wouldn't want to be beaten by one of the Fae, would you? So perhaps it was that one. But there were others at the table, and I didn't know any of them.
I'm just going to make a roll real quickly. Because somebody now has to roll when he takes rage. He will spend a willpower. I'll just do it quickly on Werewolf.
Okie dokie.
Sides. Yeah, fine. But you see it. He tenses. Not as angry as he used to be, though. But he tenses.
I don't know if it was that one in particular. There were several others I'd never seen before.
Let me just be clear. She threatened you with that.
She scared me with it, Raya.
And she wants to have Saoirse prove herself, does she? Right.
He wasn't the only one I saw, Raya. There were 2 others. And I saw that one. That Misha girl. She is. I saw it on her. And another one that was with her. He was at the bar, too.
You're not. Well, then now we know to look out for them, and if they appear at our place, we give them a warning.
The one that held the contest, the big one. I don't think that he knew it was me. But I chased him down.
Good. You said that's his champagne bottle?
Yes, Raya. It wasn't a gift, it was a winning.
He'd get up very carefully, pick up a cloth, take hold of the champagne bottle, and he touched this, did he?
Yes, Raya.
Opens the window and out.
She doesn't get up. She just kind of stays there and has been like shrinking a little bit at a time.
Pour salt around the cabin. Do the usual prep work.
Yes, Raya.
I don't want any of that in my pack's cabin. Do you understand?
Of course, Raya.
That lesson that Dallas is going to get, that's going to get a lot worse now. We're not going to tell Banshee about Karina, but we're going to inform her of her little click his lips. We'll just say she's been consorting with people that we don't associate with, that our totem does not respect.
As you say, Raya.
And as for I'm proud of you. Well done. That was a great honor you received.
I know at one point I failed. I remember my bowstring snapping. But I did redeem myself, Raya, in the eyes of the huntsman.
I'm sure you conducted yourself with grace.
And I
You
spoke
usually
of you,
do,
Raya.
You walk over and smile, lean down and give her like a nuzzle on the side of the cheek.
She starts relaxing a bit. She's been kind of huddled and getting a little more tense, but she loosens up markedly.
Stop apologizing. I know you did this pack a service, 10 point.
I did make sure, Raya, that he knew that you honored him.
Good. Arwen's halls need to be known that there are people who still honor his ways. Even if we are not of the people who connected to the spirits. It doesn't stop a warrior from honoring a tradition.
Of course not, Raya.
Nod. Give her a little pat on the cheek. He seems quite pleased, you know what I mean? There's obvious that rage from Dallas's antics, but he seems overly quite very pleased with 10 point.
It's all the more remarkable, Raya, when those who are not required to give to the spirits do so. It is that much stronger a gesture.
You kneel down in front of her. We all have to have faith in something in order for this fight to continue. If it means I worship all gods, it gives me that strength every day to go out and do what I need to do, knowing the gods are watching over me and blessing me. It may be arcane to some, but to me, it's faith. It's hope.
It is right and good, Raya. They'll always remain for a reason. If the people here do not understand, it is on them. The burden of learning is on them.
I'm not. Just rub her chin. And just smile.
And again, she goes ahead and loosens up. Overall relaxes. What else do we have before us, Raya, besides these? And she gestures to the map. Human things. I know that the kin were in danger. I don't know why. The other Thayers hasn't spoken to me.
Talate is trying her own little scheme, and it quite obviously backfired. She's keeping Will in the dark. I don't know whether I should go talk to Will.
You're running packs for a reason, Raya.
I know, but if she's keeping her packmate in the dark, the wormfoe is the type of thing that needs to know this in this skin dancer business. It's risky.
I'm browsing it.
She's not telling them things. She asked me and Raphael not to say anything. Now, I remember a long time ago I'd never said anything before about something, and Garrett got on my arse because he said it's my duty to tell people things.
It's your duty to ask the right questions and to give the right information to the right people, Raya.
But if I do that, well, all this good work that I've spent making sure the alpha of the children of the spirit wilds extends a good hand of friendship to our pack might be for nothing.
Then rather than say it for her, Raya, perhaps convince her that it is more important that she trust her pack. I've trusted all of you with everything.
You nod. Yeah. If I see her again, I'll have a talk. We'll see what we get through. But other than that, well, we've got the kinfolk thing. A lot more political parties. And by the looks of things, from what Raphael said, Mike and Tyler are at each other's throats. Which begs it interesting why Tyler's saying Mike was a problem. So what Felix and I have agreed is we're going to check out Mike. There's a connection to the mob that we're worried about. We just have to make sure it's legit. For now, I want you to concentrate on that memorial, okay?
Of course, Raya.
And have a word amongst your kin. Find out what they know about Mike. Find out what the traditionalists say. He's a Shadow Lord.
Oh, Raya.
Good.
But you said they're dancers.
Skin dancers, yes. That's what Talate mentioned to me and Raphael anyway. We think it may be a large group with a one leader or a small, close-knit team. Judging by what the body of the Wendigo kin suggested. Multiple stab wounds. They're either very precise or they're clumped together and have a lot of them there.
Were they different weapons, Raya?
All nice from what Talate said.
It could just as easily have been one.
One against a Guru. They either had to bum rush him or disable him in some way.
Where was he, Raya?
Well, they found him in the sewers, but they may have suggested that his body was done somewhere else. He was supposed to be bringing information over here.
As much as we cherish the kin, Raya, even a Guru, or the weapon's silver, could they tell?
I'm just saying, it takes a lot for one kin to kill one Guru. And there probably are more. Maybe not 20, but there's at least one. There's always one.
We'll see what Dana can give me, Raya.
Just keep it down low. Do what you need to do. You'll give her like a gentle stroke of the hair and be careful. Make sure your kin protected. So far the list of suspects. Wendigo, Child of Gaia from what I'm hearing. And Octena.
I will speak to all of those who will listen. Make sure they stay safe.
Keep it quiet. They already know. We probably know where they are. I don't want them to be alerted any way quicker. To get me?
Of course not, Raya.
That's my girl. Let's give her a pat.
But there's kind of just the numb little nod there at the end.
So, yeah. You kind of lean back against the couch. Alright. You go on into our room. I'll be in a minute. I'm going to talk to everybody in the pack link.
Yes, Raya.
Give her a smile and a squeeze of a hand. I'll be in soon.
And she smiles faintly with the hand squeeze, and we'll offer him one in return. Kind of the lingering bit, but she'll go ahead and get herself up, and when the hands are finally released, we'll be pulling out a cigarette as she goes ahead and traipses into the bedroom.
He will sit poring over a few maps as he begins to poke into the big general link of the pack.
And I should think right there is about where we can end the scene.
Yeah!
So thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.